With this single security camera setup, I can see all of my backyard and pretty much 80% or more of both of my neighbors on each side of me. It also has a third lens that will track motion as it moves throughout my yard for up close view. This is the Reolink OMVi 3i, and it is a triple lens security camera to cover all of your needs. Say goodbye to the days of needing many different cameras mounted in many different locations to make sure that you have your whole property covered. Reolink was nice enough to provide my viewers an 8% off coupon. Now it's helpful to keep in mind that there are different models here. You have the OMVi 3i Wi-Fi edition, and then you also have one that's PoE, so you can select which one works best for you. These multi-lens security cameras are taking over. In previous videos, I've mentioned dual camera lenses is the way to do it. I was wrong. Why have two camera lenses when you can have three? Two ultra-wide angle lenses and one lens for tracking. 3 is better than 2. Am I right? So Reolink took a different approach with the OMVi 3i. It uses 10 megapixel dual lenses for full 180-degree panoramic view. At the top where the lenses are fixed, you can manually adjust this up to 20 degrees. These ultra-wide dual lenses monitor a wide view of an area for motion by stitching two wide-angle lenses together. And then it hands off the motion to our lower lens, which is a 4K 8 megapixel 350-degree pan and 50-degree tilt lens. This pan and tilt lens takes over with motion and tracks it, while the dual wide-angle lenses continue to record the surrounding area. When you add the 3 lenses up, you have 18 megapixels. That is crazy talk. So taking a closer look at the Reolink OMVi 3i, as you can see here, it's a little bigger than most Reolink cameras, but not that much bigger. The mounting setup is really easy and straightforward. There are 2 screws for the mounting bracket, and then the camera slides onto the mounting bracket itself. Once the camera is on the mounting bracket, then you have 2 screws on the side that you will screw into the bracket to make it sure it is secure. The 2 cameras on top are 2 fixed wide-angle lenses. They're accompanied by 3 spotlights. In between the lenses on top is a status light, and below that is a microphone for 2-way audio. Below all of this looks like a megaphone loudspeaker. This is where the speaker actually exists. This is the first time I've seen something like this on a security camera. You can pivot the 2 lenses from 0 degrees to 20 degrees to fine-tune where the viewing angle is, as well as the camera base swivels on the mount, so that way you can turn it left and right depending on where you need this to go. This all is manually adjusted. There is no mechanical movement or anything like that. Below the 2 cameras is a pan and tilt camera. This is a 4K camera, and it has spotlights as well. That's a total of 4 different spotlight areas, and man, they are bright, I'm telling you. This is a camera that will track motion as it moves throughout the viewing area, and then the pan and tilt is super responsive and fast. I was surprised how quickly it would track me around the backyard area. It was almost like it was not having any trouble keeping up. On the back of the base, there is a rubber flap covering a micro SD card slot and a reset button. So Reolink uses sync track with auto framing and auto tracking. So once motion is detected, the pan and tilt camera gets to work tracking and framing the subject as they move around the viewing area. It does have an AI search function, which makes it really quick and easy to find footage. The AI search function allows you to not have to scrub through different footage. You can just type in what you're looking for, and it'll go through all the footage you have and pick out those different events that meet the description there. With Reolink, there are no monthly fees. You have many different options for local storage. There is the onboard micro SD card slot for up to 512 gigabytes of storage. You also can use their Home Hub or Home Hub Pro, or you can use their NVR. So you have multiple different ways to do this, and it's all local. Speaking of local, Reolink uses local AI detection to reduce false alerts. It uses an onboard processing to distinguish people from vehicles, animals, and motion noise. So let's take a quick look at sample footage during the daytime and nighttime with infrared night vision, as well as with the spotlights on. So here is the wide angle lens, or the dual lens setup, and I'm in the shadow here. So you're not going to get as bright here because I'm in the shade here, but this is the daytime footage. So you can see it's a wide angle lens fixed. Get far left, far right. You get my neighbor's yard a little bit on the left hand side, and same thing with the right side. And then you see me backing up here. Here is the pan and tilt camera, and it is following me around, and it keeps going during the daytime here. Get close there, and it doesn't lose me in sight at all whatsoever. Then I back up here a little bit, and it keeps me in sight. Make sure it gets me. Here's the dual lens, wide angle lens view for infrared night vision, and you can see the infrared spotlights or the infrared lights following me around with the other camera. It's kind of neat to see. It is blown out when it comes up really close to the camera when I get up there, but as I back up, you can still see quite a bit of different motion. And then here's the pan and tilt one. As it moves around, it tracks me around pretty good. It's not as blown out, but it is still a little bit. I'm pretty sure you can adjust the settings and how bright it is in the app, but it's not too bad. You see me back there, and then it follows me around. And then here it is, wide angle lens view for the spotlights. And you can see it's basically lighting up my whole backyard. You can see it all the way to the back. I got like a pretty big backyard, and as I go back further here, you can still see me as I'm moving around. And then here it is with the pan and tilt camera. And it's going to follow me around the backyard here while it's still lighting up my whole backyard, which is kind of cool. And as I fade back towards the very back of my yard with the swing set, let's take a quick look at the smartphone app and the features that you get with it. So in the app here, you have it's a last snapshot of what happened with the camera. As you can see here, there are two images. You got the pan and tilt one on top and the wide angle lens on the bottom. So you can tap on that and it'll give you a live view. It quickly goes in there, and here we got a live view. And there's a couple things you can do down below here. You can pause what's going on. Right now we're listening in on what's going on. You can take a picture of what's going on in both cameras. You can record what's going on in both cameras. You can change the resolution and then also put it in landscape mode. Down below, that's where you got the talk feature, so you can do a two-way audio. You got the pan and tilt. This allows you to manually move the pan and tilt, as well as set up predetermined fixed locations. Pinpoint, which is really nice. So if I click on that, I can now at the bottom say I wanted to pinpoint on the swing set. I can do that right now. That's what I just done. So it allows me to quickly go and figure out what I want to view versus manually controlling the pan and tilt. Playback just takes us down to playback all the motion below. It's caught recording before. So at the very, very top here, you have an alarm. So this allows you to turn on the alarm if you want to. We have the flashlight or the floodlights that it has. And this allows you to turn those on and off manually. We can view each of these cameras by themselves. So if I wanted to, I can click on the next button and allow me, here's a wide angle view. And then this will also, And then this will also get us the pan and tilt view if you wanted to. Then we go into settings here, and this goes through all the settings that they provide us with this. At the very top, this allows you to name this camera wherever you want. So you can rename it, go through, get updates on the firmware and whatnot. The Wi-Fi it's connected to, the display allows you to go through a bunch of different settings, day and night, image stitching, show motion boxes if you want to, stream quality, sounds, if you want to record sounds, what the volume is and whatnot. Light, this allows you to you can enable the status light or keep it off if you want. Infrared lights or spotlights, what do you want it to do? When it senses motion at night, do you want it just to leave the spotlights off, or do you want the spotlights to come on when there's motion? It's up to you. You can set that stuff up right there. Detection alarm, this allows you to set up person, vehicle, animal, motion detection, non-detection zones. They give you a bunch of different cool options down below here. They have forgotten object. Basically, you set an area of where the object is, and if you leave or whatever and that object's still there, it's going to let you know. Object removal, so you set an area again, like if it sees an object there and the object moves or someone comes and gets it, it will let you know that the object is moved. Line crossing alert, so you can set a line, and if something crosses it, it will let you know. Zone intrusion alert, same thing, kind of just put a zone out there, and then if something goes into that zone, it'll let you know. And then zone loitering, so if something's standing there or waiting there for a while, it alerts you saying, hey, something's loitering around. Maybe it's just a person at your front door, or a person in your driveway, or a person on your sidewalk. Camera recording, we have that on. You can set up post recording duration. You can do continuous recording, so you can do 24/7 recording if you wanted to, and you can set up a schedule for that. Then also we have push notifications, which are on, email alerts, FTP setup, auto tracking. This is where you can set up the different. What do you want it to auto track? Do you want it to auto track person only, or do you want vehicle, animals, and pets? You can do it on schedule. You can do object stops or disappears, like so you can stop the tracking. And then you got siren, home hub siren, and time lapse, and then the reboot in the advanced section. Here are my final thoughts. This isn't the first we've seen with multi-lens camera setups, and it's certainly not the first for Reolink. That being said, they've taken a different approach here with the dual wide angle lenses for the stationary camera to get a wide view of what you're monitoring, and then using a single pan and tilt 4K lens to track motion. While the pan and tilt camera is tracking motion and recording, the dual wide angle lenses are also going to still continue to record. This way, if there's any motion going on outside of where the pan and tilt camera is recording, the other motion can be also recorded too. This Reolink camera comes with Reolink features like smart AI detection, perimeter detection, AI search, and now it has sync track and pinpoint, allowing you to tap on the screen anywhere on a live image, and the pan and tilt camera will go and follow it and go right into that location to give you a better viewing angle. Now the Reolink OMVi 3i is a large camera, but that's expected with 3 cameras, including the pan and tilt camera. Just something to keep in mind when you're thinking about where you're going to go be putting this thing up. If you found this video helpful, please leave me a like and feel free to ask any questions down in the comment section below. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing for more tech reviews, home automation, home and automotive how-to videos. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.